I'm just waiting on whenever you're ready. I'm looking at political tweets right now.
You invite your friends over to have a drink and a smoke, and they just sit here on their phone. What's going on, everybody? I'm JB, and I'm here with one of my buddies, Jay, and it's because he will not stop bothering me about this cigar pairing soda, apparently, or pop if you're from the Midwest like I am, called Abbina. And we're going to be talking about how these Abbina drinks pair with some Carillio cigars. All next on the Zeal Cigar Review. All right, bro. So I'm here to determine whether or not the hype is real on these.
They are.
I've heard multiple people talk about these. I've heard that there have been multiple cigar reviewers that have talked about these. I unfortunately haven't seen those reviews. I am interested to see why these are so different and what makes this particular craft soda so good to pair with cigars.
All natural flavoring. So the sweetness you're going to get out of this is actually from agave. It's actually not sugar. It's agave.
Or monk fruit. Seems like everybody's using monk fruit now.
Well, this isn't monk fruit.
So it's agave.
It's agave.
So it's kind of Arizona-ish.
A little bit.
Okay. So it's agave sweetened. So which one do you have in your hand?
So I've got the Vinny. This is allspice, ginger, molasses, and herbs.
And you chose that specifically because you thought it was going to go really good with the EP Carrillo Sumatra.
Yes.
So the Sumatra, according to EP Carrillo, is an Ecuadorian Sumatra, Nicaraguan and Honduran binder. So I'm assuming that might be a double binder.
Probably a double binder.
And then a Nicaraguan and Dominican filler. And according to the manufacturer, which I don't share manufacturer tasting notes a lot. I like to give my own personal tasting notes. But the EP Carrillo, one of the best blenders in the world, says almond, coffee, white pepper, and raw sugar. So what about that Abbina, the Vinny, made you want to pair it with that Sumatra?
I think that especially with the allspice, that's going to bring out a lot of like the almonds.
Okay.
Same thing with like the molasses. That's going to bring out a lot with the coffee notes. And the herbs, that's just something that's just going to bring out everything.
Okay.
The ginger, with this one, I've had this one a lot. And the ginger, it's more like a very light ginger.
So it's not going to clean out the nostrils? Not going to tingle?
No.
Okay.
It's not like when you go to eat sushi and you eat that big old slice of ginger and you just shove it in your mouth.
So, I made you choose.
I'm sorry.
You see what happens when you don't have professionals on here? So, yeah, I made you choose one of the Abbinas and a cigar to go with it for me. I did kind of give you a parameter. I was like, make it an EP Carrillo cigar because these are new to me and I'm excited to try them. But you chose for me the Royal, which is coffee, vanilla, chocolate, and nuts. And according to the manufacturer, EP Carrillo, the Maduro is a Mexican San Andreas around a Honduran binder and Nicaraguan filler that's supposed to have flavor notes of coffee, dark chocolate, sugar dust, and black pepper.
All I can say is I think the sugar dust is just going to be more of like powdered sugar.
You know, there's only one way to find out whether or not these are legit cigar pairing sodas, especially for those of you that aren't drinkers. I would imagine this would be a very interesting choice to do that.
These also go really well with certain alcohols. If you are a drinker, they actually go well with certain alcohols. Just saying.
We know there's only one way to find out if they go with these cigars. You know what we got to do? We got to cut, light, and
smoke.
And at least you knew to do that part. All right, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do this with my eye socket or my teeth, or you got something to open these with? Okay, at least you came prepared. And the old Brad favorite, the old foot band.
I used to be a Boy Scout.
All right.
So I always come prepared.
Oh, dude, this is funky.
So that one,
it smells like a coffee. Like it smells like a mocha latte coffee.
That's what I'm saying. So if you think this one's weird or any of these are weird, there's one they have called the Candlewood.
It smells like it smells like a cappuccino.
The Candlewood was the very first one I smoked, and
wait, you could smoke this? Whoa. That's a lot.
It's a lot. They can be overpowering a little bit if you're not ready for it. Once you start smoking, it really starts to like coat the palate.
Flavor notes. Discover richness with Royale. Its coffee and chocolate flavors reveal notes of cream and vanilla while enhancing the flavors of leather and wood. I'll tell you what, man, that's a mouthful. It's not unpleasant though. It's a very heavy, very heavy. You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever had Tim Hortons?
Yes.
It very specifically reminds me of a Tim Hortons cappuccino.
Yes.
I miss Tim Hortons.
I never had the Tim Hortons cappuccino. I always had their
Tim Hortons.
Just the normal black coffee.
Yeah.
That's what I liked, was theirs.
I have their so I drink a lot of coffee. So I don't necessarily want all the caffeine, but I drink their decaf, specifically if I drink decaf.
I'm a blue collar worker. I run off of caffeine, nicotine, and rage.
That's just because you're a D-backs fan.
Ooh, the nuts really come out on that one.
Yeah, there's 3 in this EP Carrillo line. It's just the EP Carrillo line. There's the Maduro, the Sumatra, and the Honduran. The Sumatra is definitely the lightest, smoothest of the 3. And I think the Honduran, for me, was probably the spiciest.
I've smoked that one, and I've smoked the Maduro and the Sumatra. I haven't had the Honduran yet. But, I mean, my band came off early, but these things are just... What do you expect from EP Carrillo?
One of the godfathers of blending, dude.
One of?
Oh, yeah. I forget who Ricky Rodriguez said was like on his godfathers of blenders, because Ricky worked with a lot of those guys. But he was like EP Carrillo, Hochi Blanco. Well, I mean, keep going. There's a ton of
Ricky Rodriguez and
Ricky
and EP.
AJ.
They came out with their new cigar.
Which one?
The Circle of Life. West Tampa.
Oh, that's right. I haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
There's one in there for me to try, though. Thanks to this guy. I'm excited to try that.
So I got to smoke one of those before the launch, and it is beautiful. There's a couple cigars out there that you smoke them and you can actually taste the different blending types that different blenders have with each other.
Like their trademark?
Yeah, like their trademarks, yeah. Like
the My Father Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that unique like little spice that they get, and people
another one
like it or they don't.
One that I really love is two cigars that I really love. Diesel.
Yeah,
AJ. And Room 101.
Okay, Matt Booth.
So then when they came together and did the LS.
I love Matt Booth.
Matt Booth.
He's a crazy man.
Matt Booth is someone who he don't give a flying about anything.
Yeah.
And he's just so out there. And he's one of those guys where it's like, I would love to see you do a stand-up episode where you just go. He would be like almost like Ron White, where he just doesn't care.
Tater salad. I wasn't drunk in public. You threw me into public.
I was in the bar and you threw me into public.
Yeah, so this Maduro for me's got a little bit of like some breadiness up front and a little bit of like some coffee spice. But I'm interested to see if you picked a good pairing or not, and whether or not these are actual legit cigar pairing items. The smell, dude, the smell's crazy. I mean, it smells like a fresh cappuccino. Like, it smells hot, even. It smells hot.
The one that I was talking about, like the Candlewood, that was the very first one that I had. And when I popped the cap on that and I smelled it, I was like, oh, this smells like straight up potpourri. And once I started smoking with it, I was surprised at how really good that went. And I think I smoked the
aftertaste is really, really pleasant, but the initial upfront smoke on the retrohale has a little bit more of that black pepper.
Everything pops. It brings out a lot of the flavors that you might not normally taste, or that it's just a hint of it there, and you don't know what that is.
Interesting.
And then once you drink it, let it coat your palate, and you retrohale that out, you can actually identify some of those notes.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna save judgment till the end, but it's interesting to say the least so far. So how many of these different Abbinas are there total?
It's 4.
4? So what are the other two?
So you have the Royal. I've got the Vinny. Then you have the Tower 44.
Okay.
And you have the Candlewood. The Candlewood is the one that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's cherry, beets, earth, and oak moss. Very weird. I know. It's very weird. That one
What in the filthy hooligan?
So
like,
that one.
I just imagine I have to smoke a Candela with that.
No, so I haven't smoked the Candela with that one. I haven't smoked one with that one though. But that'd be a good one. Maybe with the filthy hooligan.
It's almost St. Patty's Day.
That's right. Or the Papa Hulk.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Hulk.
Yeah, the Irish Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah,
the Irish Hulk with that one. I smoked the Camacho Corojo with it. Yeah. And it really brought out a lot of notes. The Tower 44 is I don't want to miss one of the ingredients on that one, but it's patchouli, rose, and grapefruit.
So acid.
Yeah. It goes really well with the flavored cigars. But that's also the one that I will just drink that one if I'm just hanging out and not even doing anything. That's one. It's very mild. It's very mellow, and I'll just drink that one normal, like it's a Dr. Pepper.
If you're a coffee fiend and you can't find anything to supplement you getting off of coffee, this would actually probably do that for you because it literally tastes like a cappuccino.
And like I said before, if you're someone who likes to drink alcohol, there's a lot of different alcohols that go really well with these.
It brings out almost like all the smoke's gone, that hasn't been drank for a second, almost like a hazelnutty on the back of the palate.
Ooh, I never get that one.
It's like a really like peppery hazelnut. Black pepper hazelnut. So what made you get into cigars? I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
I've smoked a cigar since I was technically 16.
We don't condone anybody under the age of 21. Times were different.
This is back in the early 2000s, and so you know.
Oh, dude, I grew up on a freaking farm where the assistant principal was the baseball coach, and he bought the kids dip.
What got me into cigars is I wanted to have a little bit more of a luxury. And so I went into a local place here that there's only one left.
Warhammer figurines aren't luxury.
We're going to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm just saying, dude, my pockets ain't fat enough for that. I consider that a quite the luxury hobby. I've played Magic. I have cards. I know how much that stuff costs.
I wanted to have a little more of a luxury with gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Not people rolling.
Not man-childs. I've played Magic. I've seen tables be flipped. We're man-childs. Don't get mad at me. We paint figurines. And create fake stories. I sound like I'm ragging on that stuff, but I really do. I do enjoy it. I used to have a friends that used to do a D&D Twitch stream, and it was freaking amazing. I love it.
So he's making fun of me because I'm really big into Warhammer. I go to Vegas.
Potentially professionally or semi-professionally now?
No. I'm more of like I like more of what the historical part of it.
What?
Yeah.
You're a Warhammer historian?
That's right, dude. You got
another day.
You got 4 hours.
Comment below if you care to have Jay on another time and talk about that, because I don't know if I'm prepared for that today. Just not. So how did you get into cigars? You wanted more of a luxury with gentlemen in your life.
So I was after smoking all these like trashy cigars and everything, I was working at this place, and there was a guy who every day he'd go out there and he would smoke a cigar. And I'm like, "What are you smoking, man?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm smoking. I think it was these little cigarillos. I can't remember which ones it was." I Googled where to go and where's the place to buy cigars, and there was this place in Metro Center. So everything's closed down. Metro Center's gone.
Oh, that's right. They tore the whole mall down.
Yeah, the entire mall is destroyed and everything. And so I went in.
Malls are going that way, dude.
So I went in, and the very first cigar that I bought of my own was called Jamaican Royal. Yeah. Jamaican Royal. They're gone now because someone, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I was told on it, is when Katrina hit, it destroyed all the crops in Jamaica.
Oh, you know what?
And that's what I heard. Well, then someone told me that they're going to try and come back, which if they do, your boys buy them boxes, because if they're as good as I remember.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of Jamaican tobacco. No, it is kind of rare.
So then after that, I wanted to kind of, knock it up a notch, and I started buying Sancho Panza. Which I was like, these aren't that bad of a cigar.
Wait. Without saying how old you are, were Cubans still legal when you bought the Sancho Panzas?
No.
Oh, okay. You're not that old. Sorry, I'm not good at math.
Just because I've got gray in my beard? Really? So we're all baby faces like you. Did I throw you on that one?
It's all that goat milk I drank as a kid.
Goat milk's solid. You can milk anything with nipples.
I got nipples, Faulkner. Can you milk me? God.
You're sitting there.
So Sancho Panza. So you started buying Sancho Panzas.
Sancho Panza was the one I was buying, and then I then I just started grabbing cigars all over the place. I just started trying everything I could. And for a while there, all I would smoke were Candelas. Yeah. About 4 years, all I would smoke were Candelas.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to smoke. Were just Candelas, and I would just try and
watch Columbo or something?
No. It's just for some reason that really grassy, earthy taste from the Candelas, I really liked them, because for a long time I did just a lot of dip. And so the dip, I love spearmint dip, and there was just something about it that it reminded me of that. And so that's all I would smoke were just the Candelas. And then they started coming out with the barber poles. And I'm like, ooh, what's a barber pole? And then I started smoking some of those.
Dude, I'm a sucker for barber poles.
That is, you throw a barber pole at me, I'm like the Storm Chaser. That was my favorite barber pole.
It's like I just bit into a Three Musketeers bar, but the nougat was also like a dark cocoa nougat. It really does. The more and more you smoke and drink it, the more and more it does
really helps bring out a lot of those flavors.
Yeah, there's more of a feng shui the more you drink and smoke them.
Like this cigar, very almond. Like that, very almond. The white pepper is a hint of it.
I almost wish these were full pints. I tend to drink a lot when I smoke, which is why I have to drink very high proof liquor when I smoke cigars, because I will chug it.
Well, you've never seen, you actually never seen me. So normally what I'll have these,
beer dispensing helmet on?
No. Don't tempt me on that one, man. Don't tempt me on that. No, what I'll normally have is there's this place called Dugout Mugs, and they sell the baseball bat.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
So I've probably got about 15 of those things. Yeah. And
you don't like baseball.
I hate baseball. It's such a dumb sport. But they have the metal ones can hold 1.5 beers. So
why not just go 2 full beers?
I didn't make it.
1 beer.
So it's
half a beer.
So the wood ones will do 1 beer.
Okay.
The metal ones will do 1.5.
Okay.
So since I've got a couple of the metal ones, I'll pour all my beers. I'll put them in my fridge. So I'll have all these different. So boom, this one's got 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'll grab that one out. Drink that one. Well, then once I've already drank that one, if I know I'm gonna get silly today, I'll pour that one now. So now that one will be waiting in the fridge all nice and ice cold for me.
I don't know what's messed up more. The fact that you put your mechanical engineering type brain to work to figure out a system that worked, or the fact that you drink enough that you had to figure out a system that worked.
Why not both?
You just got a conveyor belt that just continuously refills the beer. When you have an empty mug, you just set it on there and it refills the next one.
See, now we're talking.
Put your connector set away. Rector set? What were those called?
Rectum sets.
Yeah. Yeah, what they use in Sandlot? What were those old aluminum sets called that the kids used put together? Erectors. I thought they were erector sets. Rector sets.
Erector sets. I think it was. Scene.
This video is made by 2 adults.
Speak for yourself.
All right, guys, we'll step away, smoke these down a little bit more, and we'll come back and tell you guys more about the cigars. All right, guys, so we're getting down, well, I'm not really down to the nub yet. I'm getting kind of into the middle of the second third here, and something was really interesting to me off camera. I left the Abbina back here, and I went up and was helping some folks, and I was puffing on the cigar a little bit, and I looked at Jay, and I was like, man, once you pair it, and then you go back to the cigar almost was a little bit dirtier. Like, it took a few minutes for me to smoke the cigar, for me to, like, enjoy the cigar.
To get back to those normal notes you pull from it,
on its own without this. Because if you're somebody that has a little bit of trouble pulling out notes from cigars, this could really help.
They really help do that. They really help pull those notes in that you normally wouldn't taste. It just brightens them up.
I would almost suggest, like, if you have a favorite cigar that you smoke and you're not sure which one of these to pair with it, I would just get one of each. If they have, I don't know if they sell samplers of them, and I would pour one in just pour a little bit in a little glass, and just sip one with each cigar until you go, holy crap, and then you know which one it's going to pair with.
Yeah.
Man, I can see Kevin right now going, I wonder if I could cover a cigar with it, and if the cigar would take on the flavor of it. I know his wheels are going to be turning as soon as he watches this. I know you are, Kevin. He's going to be coming in the next day after he watches this going, all right, so how do we get more of these Abbinas, and what cigars are we going to try to cover with them? Or he's going to try to put it in his pipe tobacco. Have you tried this with any pipe tobacco?
I have.
Because you actually blend your own pipe tobacco.
Yes. The one that I did do it with didn't pair as well.
Okay. Too sweet.
Yeah, it was too sweet with it. Because I did an English blend. I did a more of an aromatic blend as well. And the aromatic one, it was way too sweet. My palate did not like that one at all. The English blend I tried, I think it was the blonde. Bud blonde or something like that. I forgot what.
Oh, you're talking about the tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, there's a blonde one? I thought we went over all these.
No, I was trying with different ones, and the aromatics, it's way too sweet with the aromatics for me, for my palate. I mean, there's probably someone out there, or multiple people out there, that will like the sweetness of it, but for me, it was too much for my palate.
Okay. One of the flavors that I would say this brought out of the cigar for me, that I enjoyed, that was pleasant, was leather.
See, leather and wood are two of my favorite notes in cigars. So
really?
Especially leather. Leather's one of my favorite notes because it reminds me of my childhood, of getting beat a lot with belts.
I was wondering where this was going. I was like, either you chewed on a baseball glove a lot, or somebody was tanning that tail.
No, it reminds me of my childhood because my grandpa, he always was like making leather cases for like all his knives.
Oh, okay.
So I was always smelling like that fresh leather.
Okay.
And it just reminds me of that. So that's why I love that leather smell.
Yeah.
And then getting it in the cigars, like there's a couple cigars I've smoked that was just like super leathery. And I'm all for that.
There's not a lot on this, and I didn't get a lot from this cigar when I smoked it without this. But this did, and it's kind of interesting. There's not necessarily a consistency. Like, I'm not getting the same flavor mixes from these. I'm getting, as I'm smoking the cigar and drinking this stays pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
But the combination of the flavor changes.
Yes. One of the ones how I'll do is I'll purge, take a small little sip, draw, small little sip, and then just let all of that go in. and it just really coats the palate really nice. Especially on the retrohale, it's beautiful.
Craft sodas and craft beer have come such a long way from like just sitting down at a soda shop and being like, yo, give me some grenadine and some Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Give me some RC.
Well, like I remember like craft beers back in the day. It's like, here's a Pilsner.
Yeah.
It's got extra.
Yeah, but see, now it's all freaking IPA. Everything is like, every brewery I feel like makes an overabundance of IPAs, which is fine, but
It's because IPAs are delicious.
some.
See, well,
Some are very delicious.
So some are like those double IPAs. Get those out. That's
You know, like the double hop.
no, because you drink it, you're just like, oh god.
What is this? What is that?
But then some like,
Get the hell out of here.
but then. Oh man, it just reminded me. What's the most annoying sound in the world,
Dude,
but
I forgot that was Harlan Williams.
yeah,
The guy on the motorcycle was
Yeah.
freaking Harlan Williams.
no, but like the hazy IPAs,
Yeah,
it's a little more like the citrusy ones.
I like the oranges.
Yeah, so my favorite one is the Sierra Nevada, the little hazies.
Mm.
Ooh, I can drink a lot of those.
Have you had the shop music or the shop music? The Shop Beer Co. Church Music IPA?
No,
It's a very good one.
let's try that out. So I do a lot of I like the local breweries just because it's a local business. I like to support local businesses.
Yeah.
It was my big thing. There's a local brewery down the street from me.
Which one?
Goldwater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one in
They got one in Scottsdale.
yeah, Scottsdale.
Closer to Old Town.
Yes, the one I go to is the one off of the Wrecker.
Okay.
Yeah, off of the 202 and Wrecker.
Yeah, that's like the
And-
other end of the world from here.
Yeah, and the hop chowder. Woo!
Hop chowder?
No, not chowder. Chowder. You gotta say like you're from Boston.
You gotta
You gotta say like you're from Boston. All right, it's hop chowder.
you gotta get the chowder.
Yeah, chowder.
The chowder.
And it is so good. That beer, it's really nice, thick, creamy, and citrusy. They sell it in a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans, and I could drink 16 of those beers. I'll be on the floor, but I could drink 16 of them.
Do you ever get down to do you get down to Cider Corpse down by you?
No,
Are you a cider person?
it depends on the ciders.
They have amazing cider.
It depends on the ciders. Like I don't like berry ciders.
Okay.
So the berry ciders, they're just too sweet. Berry ciders, no. I do like some apple ciders.
Okay.
I do. Pear ciders.
They had a good pear one.
There's a pear one. Sometimes the Granny Smith ones as well. Some of them.
A little bit
Granny's.
sour.
Yeah, a little bit of a sour taste to it. I like those ones. But
Wow.
the berry ones they're just too much.
More leather. The black pepper's like gone that I had at the beginning. It pretty much weaned off in the middle. But man, as I keep getting closer and closer to the end, more and more of that sweet leather come through.
This one is just it's very almondy.
Yeah,
I'm liking this one.
That's a sweet, nutty cigar.
Yeah, this one.
Little creamy.
Yeah, a little cream, but there's a lot of nuttiness to this one. The coffee, not so. I'm not getting a lot of the coffee in this. Well, no, I could probably maybe a little bit on the back of the tongue, a little bit of tartness.
That light, kind of all spicy, leaning a little bit cinnamony, and just smooth, creamy leather. A lot of leather coming in on this cigar. After I just said, oh, it's only got a little bit of leather coming through from the Abbina.
All right, so I just purged mine.
Okay.
And how I like to do mine, just it's all nice and purged. Let it sit for a second. Oh, absolutely delicious. Doing it that way, some of the herbs
Okay.
brings like so the whatever herb he uses in this really brings out that pepper.
Yeah, see if it
And then-
says on the side, on the this side. Flip it. They got like a little story there with the flavor notes. It might have. It just says spices, fruits, and a hint of sweetness.
Yeah.
Very mild to full-bodied cigars. What's this one say? Reveal notes of cream and vanilla while enhancing the flavors of leather and wood. I would 100% say this definitely enhances the wood and the leather in the cigar.
Well, I think I picked it.
100%. Yeah, very interesting, man. It's definitely. I understand why they call it a sipping soda.
It's not one that it's not one you're going to sit there and just like guzzle down like a Dr. Pepper or a Coca-Cola, something like that. This is one you take little sips of it. These can overwhelm your palate.
Yeah, it's like
they really can.
It's like you slam a bunch of Bud Lights and then somebody hands you an Oktoberfest.
Who drinks Bud Light?
I'm just saying, for comparison. You got water, and then you have something very fully flavored.
Okay. I go Coors Light instead of Bud Light.
I like Banquet.
Banquet's solid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Banquet's pretty solid. So, was I correct in saying that these really enhance your cigars?
I don't want to say it, but it does. For a couple reasons, right?
You don't want to encourage me?
One, I don't want to give you the credit for one.
Thanks, buddy.
Encourage you also. Yeah, don't want to encourage the nonsense either. But at the same time, like, the cigar industry is so unique. And cigar palates, when it comes to the average smoker, are really different and very wide and vast.
That is right on to the nail.
No, even though the cigar industry is getting younger, there's still an old head mentality in the cigar industry. And to bring in something new and different like this, that is
something that is a very
it's a supplemental, it's an enhancement. Especially anytime somebody sells something as an enhancement to a product that doesn't necessarily need enhancement, it's just kind of interesting and enjoyable when you get it. You're always like when somebody comes in and like, dude, this bourbon is going to be the best bourbon you ever smoked with a cigar. And I'm like, okay, but which cigar? Bourbon? Well, you said that earlier. You got me.
Yeah. So there you go.
So, but yeah, so they'll be like, yeah, this is the best bourbon. And I'm like, okay, but what cigar pairs with it? Because not all cigars go great with every bourbon. So it's
one of my favorite bourbons. I don't like drinking it while I smoke cigars. But you don't. It doesn't. And
which bourbon?
Oak and Eden.
I don't think I've had that one actually,
bro.
You've told me before I need to try it.
It's pretty good.
But you don't like it with cigars.
I don't like it with cigars because what it is because they put these like wood spirals in there.
Okay.
And it infuses the bourbon, and it gets very woody.
Okay.
So when you smoke a cigar and then drink the bourbon with it, it's just too much wood.
But yeah, anytime somebody's like, dude, this is going to make your cigar experience better, I'm always like, does it need to be better? Like, I kind of like where it's at. I like my coffee. I like my bourbons. But
dark roasted coffee, I've never had a coffee, like a dark roasted coffee, like nice dark, not like Folgers or something like that it did not make my cigar better. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to look right now to see if it says anything about having caffeine in it. There is actually cold brew coffee extract in here, so I would imagine there is a little bit of caffeine. It doesn't say on the bottle.
I think if you go onto their website, it says.
So I'm going to err on the side of caution that there is caffeine, and there's a lot of sugar. So if you're there's about 30 grams of sugar. So it's not a lot compared to like other sodas, but there is some consciousness about that if you're health. You got to watch your health stuff. Albany, New York.
And it's American made.
Albany, New York. Yeah, that was a pleasant experience. I'm excited to try, well, at least one of the other ones. There's one in there with like the saffron and the patchouli.
That's what, yeah, saffron, patchouli, rose, and grapefruit. Now that one.
I don't know about that one.
That one is my favorite one to just sit back. I'll crack that thing open and just drink that one normal. It's a very nice and refreshing one.
See, when it's
hot out. When
I hear the description of that, I don't even know what cigar to smoke with that.
So I've smoked a bunch of different ones with it. That new El Rey del Mundo, drank the Tower 44, beautiful. But then I've also had West Tampa.
Okay.
I've had all of their core line with it.
Yeah, if you're a coffee drinker, the Royale's going to be right up your alley.
Yeah, it's going to be right up there.
Especially if you live somewhere hot like we do. Like, I don't always like iced coffee. It gets me a little bit more jazzed than just a cup of coffee. Yeah, I don't know if it's how they brew it or what, but
well, I mean, they got to put more. There's
maybe
more
I
coffee
drink it
in there
faster.
Because you probably drink it too fast before the ice can melt all the way in, and it kind of waters it down.
I don't like my watered down. Oh. But yeah, if you're somebody like that and you don't necessarily like cold brew coffee and you don't like mixed drinks, like you don't like cappuccinos or cold lattes, that's a really good supplement.
Yeah. That one is the most popular one that I know of.
Interesting. You never know. Maybe these might be coming around a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Might be able to do something with it.
I know a guy who can get you those.
I know a guy.
So
let's go. Final thoughts on the cigar. Final thoughts on the soda. Final thoughts on them together.
So, I mean, I'm going to go just right off. I mean, it's made by EP. This cigar is absolutely beautiful.
That's my favorite of the three.
I have just a little bit of a burn issue that's not.
Yeah, it could have been your fault.
This is not a, I've got a little bit of a burn issue with it. It's not a deal breaker for me. I'd buy these by the box for me, I would buy these by the box. They're absolutely beautiful. The flavors are really, really, really nice. They're really mild. No one flavor really overpowered the rest. Almond was there throughout the entire cigar. I got almond throughout the entire cigar. The coffee was there at the beginning.
Okay.
I lost it in the middle third. I got a little bit back in the final third.
See, so this one would have brought the coffee out in that probably tenfold.
Probably would have brought the coffee out a lot on that one. The white pepper, not so prevalent for me. And what was the other one they said had in there? Sugar?
Yeah, raw sugar.
Yeah, yours had the sugar dust.
Yours was raw sugar.
Yeah, mine was raw sugar. I didn't taste raw sugar in mine.
Just the sweetness,
maybe?
It
was just like your normal sweetness from tobacco is what I tasted from it. I also did get a little bit of a wood in here. I don't know. I can't say if it was like a cedar or oak, but I did get a wood in this.
It was Bobinga grown in a specific region of Africa. That was the wood you tasted. It was redwood grown just north of the fire, so there's a slight smokiness.
No, all I could think of is that scene from Ace Ventura when he's got the two darts. You know what I'm talking about?
This one is made from a rare fungus bearing a color.
Yeah.
Which comes from only this region of the jungle.
Already yet. Gosh, I haven't seen those movies in forever. They're so. I don't care what anyone says. Jim Carrey, one of the funniest actors out there. Underrated.
You see the new movie that he did with Adam Sandler? Buds? On Netflix?
On Netflix.
I gotta watch it. I don't know what it is.
No, Netflix got too expensive for me, so I kicked them out.
All right, so the Maduro for me, a very enjoyable cigar. I would say in the order of these three specific EPs, when it comes to the Sumatra, the Maduro, and the Honduras, I would put them in that order. The Sumatra, the lightest, the Maduro in the middle, and the Honduran being a little bit more on the spicy, peppery, stronger side. It's a very enjoyable cigar on its own, but I would say that pairing it with pairing it with the soda made the cigar even more enjoyable. I'm excited to try the other ones, man. Let's see what happens. With that, guys, that's been the EP Carillio, Maduro, and the Sumatra with my buddy Jay. And we're out of here like last year.
Peace.